So welcome to the day 4 session of APM with Python. Today we are going to talk about the concepts of strings. We will see the string data type and the inbuilt string functions and the concept of format specifier. And then we are going to talk about the concept of how we can create our own functions and how we can work with our own functions in Python. So we are going to talk about these two aspects today. So what is a string data type? A string data type is basically a sequence of characters. So sequence of characters when come together create a string. So let us try to create a string and understand a concept with that. So we say str is equal to in double quotes hello. In here each character of the string is associated with a index value which is the position at which the character is found. So every character of this string is associated with a numeric value which is called as the index value, and it is the position at which the character is found in the string. So it starts with 0. At 0 you have H, then at 1 you have E, at 2 you have L, at 3 you have L again, at 4 you have O. So the length of the string is equal to number of characters in the string, and the index value will be always equal to 0 to length minus 1. So if there are total number of 5 characters in the string, the characters will occupy position from 0 to 4. Is this clear? You have a question on the list, Samir, regarding delete? Please ask your question. Okay. What is the range value you gave when you try to delete a range from the list? 2 to 4 will not delete the first item. The index value of the list also starts from 0. So it will delete from the third item. At the index position 2, it would be the third item. So it will delete from 2 to 4 index. So basically 2 and 3. 4 will not get deleted. If you want to delete the first item, you have to give from index 0 to whatever value you want to delete. Okay? 2 to 4 is basically the index value. For example, here you have created a list and you say delete list. What is that index to? What value is that index to? So it will delete this and this. Okay? No, it will not delete 2, 3 and 4. It will delete between 2 and 4, so second and third. Fourth also will not get deleted. Okay. Moving on to the concept of strings which we were discussing. So there are some inbuilt functions which are associated with the string class. Let us have a look at them. First of all, let us have a look at some of the numeric operators which we can use with string, and when used with string how their behavior changes. Let us say we have a string as hello, we print it. We have another string as bye. Then we create this string 3 is equal to string plus string 1. What this will do will, this plus operator when used with string basically concatenates the string. So string 3 would be hello bye. When you use the multiplication operator, what it does is it multiplies the string by that number, so it effectively is going to repeat that string occurrence as many times with as much number you have multiplied. So string 5 would be in here, sorry, string 4 would be in here, bye. And then you have got final, where you are trying to add a number to a string. This will basically throw an error. You cannot add an integer value to a string. Okay, they are two different data types that will throw an error. So this is your original string, this is your concatenated string, this is your string when you multiplied it by a number 3, and when you trying to add a different data type to a string, it will basically throw us an error. So these few numerical operators, how when they are used with string can work, is what we have seen in here. Now we are going to have a look at some of the string functions which are available. So this is a string, hello world, how are you? We first want to print the length of the string. Then we want to print the string in all lowercase. This will print the string in all uppercase. Okay, let us run till here. Fine. So the total length of the string is 24. Then we have printed each character in the lowercase, and we have printed each character in the uppercase. Then we say string index R. So it will print the position from where ARE starts. String dot replace comma with semicolon. It will remove comma and put semicolon at that position. Where does R come? This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So from 17th position R would come. Okay. So that is the index value. Here we have replaced the comma with a semicolon. Then we have another string. My name is Tom. Do you see there are a lot of white spaces left between before the string, after the string, and also in between the string? The strip function removes the extra white spaces before and after the string. It will not remove anything in between the string, but before and after the string, it will remove these extra white spaces. Are some of these string functions clear to you? Okay. Now we are going to have a look at few of the functions which helps us in string manipulation. So we have got a string available James Bond, and then we create another string with the help of string which we want to slice from 2 onwards. So what would happen? Let us see. So what would happen is it will print the characters from the position 2 till the end of the string. Okay. So Z1 would become from MES to Bond. Okay. This would be the Z1. Then let us say we want to pick up few index position and concatenate them together. So we create another string Z2 where we pick up a index value at 0th position and an character at the 7th position. So at 0 we have picked J, and at 7th position we will be picking N. So Z2 would be JN. Then let us say if we want to find out whether the string which we are working on is it a digit or not. So this should print either true or false. Okay. Sorry, at 7th position we have O, so it is JO and false. Then how we can work with substring. So you have got a big string and you want to find out the substring from it. So we have a string available. I got you a cookie. String 2 cook, string 3 Paul. The function is find. The find function would basically return the position of your substring. So if cook is available, it will basically tell you at which position cook is available. If it is not available, it will basically return us -1. So cook is available at the 12th index position and Paul is not available, so we got -1. Then finally the replace function, where I'm trying to replace a character by another. So I use the replace function which we have already seen. So these are some of the inbuilt functions associated with the string data type. So this is the document which talks about some of the string functions. I'll explain it again, Marian. So here you can have a look at, these are lot of inbuilt string functions which are available to us, which we can use to work with. This might be a better link. So we have seen a few of the function, but for a detailed list you can have a look at it. The find function, which helps you find whether a string contains a substring or not, basically returns the index position where the substring is found. You have got this string 1, I got you a cookie. A string 2, cook. Is cook available inside string 1, Marian? At which position cook is available? So if you start counting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So from which position the cook word comes, that would get printed. Okay? So from 12th position of index it would come. Paul is another substring which we are trying to find out in this main string. Is Paul available in here? The answer is no. So since Paul is not available, the index value returned is -1. So in here you can try out an if condition. Let us say you ask user, or you are working on a file, you are trying to read a file, figuring out whether a particular text is available in the file or not. So if it returns -1, that means that substring is not a part of the main string. Clear? Sure. Yes, in replace function you can pass a collection of characters also. It need not be an individual character which you are trying to replace. It could be a collection of characters which you are trying to replace. So let us try this program. Ask user to enter a string, print its reverse. Do not use the inbuilt reverse function if any. So you can use any other function but not the reverse function if it exists for string. Attempt it right now, please. Write down a program to ask user to provide you with the string and print its reverse. Go ahead and attempt it, please. Okay, any progress? Okay. Anybody tried using with the for loop? If you would have been using with the for loop, how would you do it? So this is also correct, Marian, which you have shared. So you could have also tried it with the for loop. Okay. You have to basically try to print the string in the reverse order. So you have to start with the string character length -1 and go till all the way to -1 range. So we say for I in range length of the string -1 till -1, and we give this -1 as the denomination so that it first takes, let's say, 5 4 3 2 1, and then we concatenate the string at ith position with the new string, and it will print the string in the reverse order. So both are correct. What you have said and what I am sharing, they both are correct. Okay. So to achieve a same output, we have got two different methods or two different approaches. Both are correct. Any questions in here? Okay, so we will see one another function of the string data type. The function is known as the split and the join function. They're pretty useful function. The purpose of the string split function is to break a main string into substrings based on a separator or a delimiter. So the purpose of the split is to break a string into substrings based on a separator or a delimiter. For example, here I have provided a string. My name is. Here if we have a look at it, the separator in here is a colon. So if I try to split this string, I can split this string based on a colon. It will return to me a list of substrings. So at the list 0th position I will have my, at the list first position I will have name, second position is, and so on and so forth. The purpose of the join is to take a list of substrings and concatenate them together to create a new string with help of a separator. So let us see both these functions. So we have the string hello colon world colon how are you. So I created a list by using the split function and I printed that list. Then I created a new separator space and I created my string as s.join list1. So use the join function with the separator on the list1 which contains a list of the substrings, and print it. So it will print hello space world space and so on and so forth. Okay. So the above is the split function getting printed, which prints a list of substrings, and this is after we have concatenated that list of substring with a new separator to print a new string. Sharing this program, work on it on your systems, and if you have any questions, let me know. Works? Any query in here? Samir, any query? Okay. Now we are going to see a concept called as format specifiers. Sometimes when we are trying to print a particular content, the content can contain different data type. So how we can use a concept called as format specifier to print such a content. So format specifier basically take few values. Percentage %s is for string, percentage %d is for integer, percentage %f is for decimal values or float values, percentage %b is for the boolean values. So you can use these format specifiers in the string, which at runtime will be replaced by the variable data you want it to get printed. For example, here I have created three variables, a string, an integer and a decimal value. And I say print percentage %s is percentage %d years old, and here I provide the variables. So at the time of execution, this percentage %s would be replaced by the data associated with name. This percentage %d will be replaced by the data associated with age. Percentage %s earns dollar percentage dot 2f salary. Here it will basically print until two data points, two decimal values. So let's run this program. Okay. So even though there were lot of values after the decimal, it prints up till the first two decimal points with the help of this percentage dot 2f. Any questions? Okay. So we'll take up a question. Create a list of 5 string values. Print the string which has maximum characters. So the string which has got maximum characters, you have to print it from the list of 5 strings. Please attempt this question. Go ahead and attempt it, please. And once done, share your answers. Any answers? You have to use the len method to find the length, definitely. So basically, what is exactly is the pseudocode in here? So we first create a list with 5 strings. We create a variable max, assign it a value 0 and new string, assign it empty. We iterate through the list, and for each entry we compare the length of the string with max. If max is less than the length, we assign max the length of the string and new string the string data, and continue with the step. So this is your pseudocode. You have to iterate through the list. So let us say your list has got few entries like this. You say max as 0. Then you compare max first with if max is less than length of first element rows. Then obviously it would be less than, right? So your max would become 4 and your new string would become rows. Then you keep on iterating in the for loop. Now max is 4. Then for the next it would be comparing with lilac. Lilac length is more than 4. So max would become this, new string would become this. Then it will compare with, let us say here we have just some value, some other flower name, let's say XYZ. This value is not greater than the new value of max when lilac will be compared. So the output would be lilac with the string value. Is the approach clear to you guys what I am doing in here? The pseudocode which I am trying to build to solve this. Okay, which aspect is not clear? Or what was your approach? Fine, for loop will definitely be required. So if you look at the program, here is the list which we have created, okay? It contains all these names of the flowers. Then I created two variables, an integer variable and a string variable, max and output string. Then I have to iterate through the list. To iterate through the list, I compare max with the length of each flower in the list. If the max is less than the length of the flower, then max becomes the new length of, then the max will be assigned the length of the flower and output string will be assigned the name of the flower. And this loop continues. So for the first iteration, 0 compared with 4. So max becomes 4 and output string becomes rose. Then it will go on to the next iteration, lilac. How many characters are there in lilac? 6 characters. So 4 is less than 6, yes. So max would become 6 and output string would become lilac. Then you have got lotus. Lotus is 5 characters. Is 6 less than 5? No. So nothing will happen. Output string will still remain lilac and max would still become 6. Then you have got sunflower. It is almost 9 characters. So output string becomes sunflower. Then you have got hyacinth. Hyacinth is 8 characters. So the output for this would be, what would be the output? The flower which had 9 characters, the output would be sunflower. Are you able to understand this? Both of you? Okay. Any questions in here? Anything which is not clear? Okay, so before we start our discussion on the concept of functions, we will take a 5 minutes break. We will resume the session at 8:45 my time, 8:45 IST. Okay, it's 8:37 right now. We'll start the session at 8:45. Okay, so we'll take a 5-7 minute break. I'll see you guys the next 5-7 minutes. Thank you. The second one is correct, what you have shared, Marian. So we are now going to talk about the concept of functions in Python. So basically functions are created if we have got a repetitive code or some set of statements which are going to get repeated in the code which we are writing. It is always a good idea to convert that code into functions so that we will just call it wherever required with the required number of input arguments and print the output. So you have got two types of functions available in Python. You can have either a built-in function or you can either have a user-defined function. So you have got two types of functions available with the programming language. For example, some of the built-in functions we have seen. Example, print. Print is a built-in function. Input, that's a built-in function. Conversion functions. These are all built-in functions which we have seen and we have been using. So we can either use these built-in functions, or if we are trying to write down a code where we come across some set of statements which are going to get repeated, then we can create our own functions around it and call them as and when necessary. So when we create a function, we use a keyword called as def followed by function name in bracket the arguments which the function may require as input. Then we have some statements which are created to work with the function, and then there could be a return value associated, and that's it. So this is generally the syntax which we use to create a function. Let us first see a built-in function. So for example, input, type, these are examples of built-in functions. So we are asking the user to enter a number and then we are simply printing the type of that string. Then we are converting the string using the int operator and then again using the int function and again using the type function. So what are the three built-in functions we see in here? So we see input, we see type, and we see int. So these are the three built-in functions which we have seen in this particular program. So before the conversion, the type associated with the object was string, and after the conversion, the type associated with the object was integer. Is this clear? So these are the example of built-in function. Now let us try to create our own function and work with it. So there are two functions I have created, hello and bye. The hello function takes as input argument a string and we create greet. Another string is hello plus string and we say return greet. Similarly, we create a function called as bye and we create a bye greet. So in this particular file, which is also called as module. So module is a file of Python which only contains functions. So what we have created in here is a user defined module. So module is a file in Python which only has user defined functions, or basically functions only. And then we use a command called as from. We pass the path of the file. So the file is available in dy4 folder. Name of the file is userdefmod and we want to import the hello and bye function. And then this is how we call the functions defined in this module. So when you run this program, it will basically fetch the implementation of hello and bye from the user defined module file. Is this clear? How we can create our own user defined functions and create a module out of it, and then how can we use that module to work with. Any questions in here? So it's a simple file which has got few user defined functions. Once the functions are defined, I created another Python program to call these module functions. Now this is not the only way to call the function. This is basically I am talking about modules. We will see how we can create a function in a program and call it within it. So this is about module. Now let us see within the same program. So in this program, we have created two functions, calculate simple interest, which takes three arguments, PRT, and returns simple interest value after calculation, and another function called as calculate amount, which takes two arguments, principal and simple interest, and it returns to us the amount. Then we ask the user to enter the principal, rate and time. We convert it accordingly to the data type we think is correct. Then we call the function. So simple int is equal to calculate simple interest. We pass on our three input arguments and we print it. Similarly, to calculate amount, we call the calculate amount function with the principal and simple interest input arguments and we get the amount. So I'm sharing this code with you guys. Have a look at it to understand how this user defined function is working in here. And if you have any questions, let me know. So in here you have defined two functions which takes arguments and returns a value. Any questions in here about module or user defined function? So let us take some assignment problem in here. So create a module where you have implemented the following functions. Create a calling file to show the usage. That's first. Second is write down a program which asks user to enter a string and prints if the string is a palindrome or not. A palindrome string is one which is same as its mirror image. Your third question is, this concept I will teach you now, but I'm just giving you the question. Find out the PyPI module available to available which can be used to perform the following activity. Work with, read and write Excel file, generate logs. So these are your 3 assignment problems which you guys have to do for today. Now let us talk about the concept of PyPI. So like we have created our own simple Python module with two functions, hello and greet. Similarly, there are a lot of Python packages, modules available out there which are basically hosted in the PyPI interface. So PyPI is an interface which is available, which has got lot of inbuilt published Python packages. So you can search for all these packages out there, and then using a command you can install these packages on your system and then work with it. So this is the PyPI module. For example, let us say I want to work with a module which works with XML. So I search for XML, and then there are different types of XML modules which are available. XML to JSON, XML to HTML, etc. This is the command which can be used to work within to install this particular package on your system, and then to understand how do we work with it, we will go to project description or the documentation associated with it. Sometimes you will have the documentation, sometimes you will not have a documentation. For example, we have a module available called as world count underscore file. To install this, you will say pip install word count file. Then to use it, you will simply say import word count underscore file and call this method associated with it. Let us try to work with this, okay? So to install or work with pip, we will go to our command prompt and I will copy this command and install it on my system. Let's do it together. So open the command prompt on your system. This is the link which I am looking at. Let's perform the steps together. You may also have this error that pip is not a recognized command on your command prompt. If you get this error, let me know. We will see how to fix it. Okay. So first perform this step. Im- Install this module on your system. Pip install is the command which we use to install Python packages in our system. Let's do that. So if you are getting this error that pip command is not found, generally pip is basically a installer which is available to us where the Python installation is available. So in my system, Python is available in, and yours also should be available. Go to C users followed by username app data local. In this you will have a folder called as programs. Inside it you will have a folder called as Python. Inside that you will have a folder called as scripts. There is this pip application. So this is the path. This path should also work for you guys. Okay. So in your users directory, go to the user folder. Inside that there is an app data folder, local programs, Python. So basically you have to go to the folder in your system where Python is installed. Inside that Python folder you should have a scripts folder. The scripts folder is where your pip command is available. So reach there. If you are on the other operating system like Mac or something like that, you might want to explore this link. You are able to install it? Okay, great. So Marian, you also install it. Install this package word count underscore file with the help of the pip command. Look at the Stack Overflow link which I have shared. So if you can find it quickly then it is good. Otherwise you can try this out later. So once you have installed this particular module on your system, you are good to use this module. So we simply create a file and in here I provide the path to my text file. So let us say my text file is available here in the D drive. So when I run this program, I should be able to use this module and work with it. So some error with this module. So the module import statement is itself getting error. So let's try another module. This may not work. Let me search for another module available. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to search for a module. Let us see this. I'm picking the example from here. So there is a Python package which is available, which is known as XML2Dict. The purpose of this package is to basically help us convert an XML file to a JSON, so an XML data to a JSON data. So this is a file, this is a module which is available. So we can simply say pip install XML2Dict to install this particular package. So pip install XML2Dict to install this package. And once it is installed, let us see its implementation. So you say import XML2Dict, you import a package called as pprint, and you import JSON. JSON and pprint are available within the Python by default. So this is what we have to install, pip install XML2Dict. Then I create my XML document which says audience having child tag ID, name, and audience tag closes. And I basically use the pretty print to print the JSON format of the file. So to print the JSON format of the file, I use this command xml2dict.parse_my_xml, which I dump in the JSON string and print it. So this XML is converted into this JSON data. Okay. So this is the JSON data which is getting printed after reading this XML, and we use this xml2dict.parse method, which is the inbuilt method associated with this module. So the idea is to provide you guys with an example of using a Python package. So we can come across a lot of different things we might want to do with a Python program, and we need not reinvent the wheel. We first should always search for if there is availability of any known Python package, any good Python package out there, and if a Python package is available, we should install it, then use the import statement to import the package, and then use the inbuilt methods associated with it. Is this approach clear? Yeah, try it out, Marian. The link which I have shared with you will help you find the pip command on your system, and then you should be able to use it. So going forward, when we work with, rather, APM itself is a package in Python, or if you would want to work with Selenium itself is a package in Python. So going forward, when we will be learning these new concepts like Excel handling, logs handling, APM itself, we will understand these are all different packages which are available in Python, and how we can install them and then import them and then use the methods associated with these packages to work. Okay. So that's all we have for today. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me. Any questions? Okay, then thank you so much for your time. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to talk about another concept where we are going to talk about the concept of file handling and regular expressions. Another interesting topic and very useful. So we'll see that tomorrow. Okay. We'll be looking at how to read and write text based files or a CSV file, and we will be talking about the concept of regular expressions. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Also, I wanted to request you guys. I mean, it's just a request. If you guys are available, then we can maybe think about it. Uh, I am not sure what time zones are you in. Marian, you are in CST time zone? Okay. And Samir, you are in which time zone? EST. Okay. Is there a time in which you guys are available during your weekdays? Like 2 days in a week, or yeah, maybe 2 days in a week. I mean, just a request. If you guys have that time available, it would be great. Like if you are available even on the same time as you are available on the weekends, that's also is fine. So Tuesday and Thursday you can be available, and Samir, you are available on all weekdays same time. Okay. No, I'm requesting for a continuous availability if it's doable for you. Maybe not this month, in the next month. Yeah, not and definitely not from next week. I'll plan it up. I'm asking if you have time available like 2 or 3 days in a week, let's say from the week of 15th October onwards, or maybe 22nd October onwards. So if from 15th or 22nd you guys can give me 2 days in a week or 3 days in a week, if 2 days that's also good enough. We'll just shift your classes to weekdays from weekends. So you can let me know by next weekend, and then I will plan it accordingly and I will share the new timings with you. Fine? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for this. Okay, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye, everyone.